Thanks, Whitney, for helping me pick up these clothes at the hospital thrift shop.
Well, my mom always donates the clothes that she doesn't want anymore to the shop's annual drive, so I know the quality is good and the prices are cheap.
By the way, I'll pay you back the money you lent me as soon as I get my first paycheck from Mrs. Crane. Mucho conservative. Just the look I'm going for. And this, it's perfect.
I still say it's weird.
I think it looks really natural. Even the lady at the beauty salon said so.
That's not what I mean. I mean, this look, it's just not you at all.
I told you, Whitney, the whole point is for me to change my look completely. Different clothes, different hair, different makeup. That way I can go to the Crane Mansion every day and work as his mother's secretary without Ethan ever recognizing me.
I don't know, Teresa. I mean, Ethan's already seen your face more than once. He thinks you're stalking him. He could have you put in jail if you get caught.
Don't worry. I just knew I can pull this off. Hello?
Teresa, it's Ivy Crane.
Hi, Mrs. Crane.
I realize we hadn't discussed your hours when you were here earlier, but I do have some things I could use your help with. Would it be possible for you to come over now?
Yes, Mrs. Crane. I can be at your house in just a little while.
Excellent. I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
You were playing with fire, Teresa. I just hope Ethan doesn't recognize you.
I'm counting on you to find this lunatic that's been stalking my son, Mr. Lomax.
Well, that's why you hired me, Mrs. Crane. Do you say you got a good look at this girl, Mr. Crane?
Please, call me Ethan. Yes, I've seen her several times up close. I'd know her anywhere.
So how do you plan to go about finding this girl that's been stalking Ethan?
Well, first I'll need a description of her for a sketch that I'll make. Have you ever seen her, Mrs. Crane?
Unfortunately, no, or she'd be behind bars right now. Well, you'll excuse me, I have some things to do. Ethan, Pilar's daughter is on her way over, so perhaps if you have some time, you can finally meet her.
I'm looking forward to meeting her. Okay. Mother, don't worry. We're going to find this girl and put her away.
Quickly, I hope.
Oh, Sheridan's here this morning was waived. Obviously, if Father pulled some strings, the least he could do for his sister.
So she'll be released?
Yeah. Once they finish the paperwork, I'll pick her up as soon as they call me.
Good.
So, tell me about this girl. What'd she look like?
Well, I'd say she's not entirely unattractive.
What do you think, Whitney?
Not bad. Maybe Ethan really won't recognize you.
Well, he can't. He just can't.
Are you ready?
As I'll ever be.
She has a very distinctive face.
Shaped kind of like that?
Perfect. But I think the one feature that stands out most is her eyes.
What color are her eyes?
Brown, definitely brown. Kind of almond-shaped.
And her hair?
Brown, too. Kind of unkempt looking, almost wild.
May I help you?
It's me, Mrs. Crane, Teresa.
Oh, my goodness, Teresa. Well, oh, come in. Heavens, I didn't recognize you.
Because my hair is up.
Yes, I suppose that too.
Her hair's long. It kind of cascades down past her shoulders.
We gotta talk, Luis.
Sure, Chief. What's up?
I thought you were smarter than this.
Smarter than what? What are you talking about?
You're one of my best men, and I consider you a friend, so I'm gonna give it to you straight. What's going on with you and Sheridan Crane?
Going on? You know what's going on. Arrested her for speeding, destroying police property, attempting
That's
to...
not the kind of going on that I'm talking about.
Wait a minute. Well, you think Sheridan Crane and
Are
I
you two having a thing, or
Are
not?
you kidding, Sam? I mean, where in the world do you get a crazy idea like that?
Look at this. exactly call that not going anywhere near Sheridan Crane.
Do you manage to capture a lot of your suspects using these sketches?
So far, every one.
But you just work for yourself, right?
Yeah, freelance all the way. There's too many rules in the PD for me. It's not my thing. But I like what I do. I like help trying to catch the bad guys. Or girls.
That must be rewarding.
That is when it pays off. All right, how's that? Did I get her?
Perfect. And that's exactly the way her hair falls.
Well, why don't you come along, Teresa, and let me introduce you to Ethan. I know he's so anxious to meet you.
Just let me fix my hair, Mrs. Crane.
Yes. Oh, Teresa, you know, I recall when I met you that your hair was really quite long and lovely. So why are you wearing a wig today?
I'm telling you, Sam, that surveillance tape is not what it looks like.
Well, you gotta admit, Luis, it doesn't present a real good picture.
Well, if it had sound, you'd know what really happened.
Well, why don't you tell me what really happened?
I was doing my regular cell check. When I saw Miss Crane, she looked agitated, like she was having a bad dream or something. So I tried to shake her out of it. I went into her cell, and before I know it, she's got her arms all over me. But she's still half asleep. The second she realizes it's me, she jumps back like she's touching some leper. You'll see it on the tape if you keep going.
No can do. Tape ran out right here.
Look, nothing went on. Now, come on, Sam. And you know that I'm a good cop. Now, I would never break the rules like that with a prisoner. And you know how much I detest the Cranes. And she obviously pretty much feels the same way about me. Nothing happened. That's the truth.
I've got great respect for you, Luis. Both as a cop and a man of integrity. I believe you.
Thank you.
Hang on, Luis. You know you gotta be extra careful when it comes to the Cranes. They have a habit of making mincemeat out of people who get in their way.
You don't gotta tell me that, Chief.
Well, 200% out for themselves. When I came in this morning, O'Brien told me that Miss Crane had trouble sleeping last night. I got the idea something was wrong with her.
Like what?
I didn't ask. I know better than to get involved with the Cranes. I figure it's her problem, not ours.
Crane Princess probably broke her fingernail. What a tragedy.
You're probably right. The Cranes have no clue about real problems or real people in the real world. They have no idea what it's like to make it on your own. I've got this much sympathy for all of them.
I know, I got a personal reason why I distrust that entire family. I still suspect that somehow they have something to do with the disappearance of my father. What kind of beef you got with them, Chief?
You could tell it was a wig?
It looks very natural. No one else would be able to tell. I mean, I could tell because I've worn wigs before, you know, costume parties and when I'm in the mood to change my look. But why would you want to change your appearance? Your hair is so long and lovely.
Well, actually, Mrs. Crane, you know how interested I am in fashion and design. Well, appearance is important to me, and as for my new position as your personal secretary, well, I wanted to look, you know, more professional.
I see.
Okay.
Well, if it'll make you feel better, why don't you come with me? Ethan's in the living room.
It's a terrific likeness, Frank. But one thing, the eyes. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Ethan's working with a private investigator to find that girl who's been stalking him. I'm very optimistic, and the investigator's confident he'll find her.
You're right, Luis. I do have a beef with the Cranes. They act like they own Harmony.
But that's it?
It's enough for me. I mean, they have kind of an arrogance that I have no use for. They think that they can push people around and do whatever they want and get away with it.
Will they ever do that to you?
I'm just talking in general. I mean, rather than butt up against them, I figure the best thing to do is steer as clear of them as I can.
Yeah, that suits me just fine, too. But somehow, they just don't seem to steer clear of me.
You know, I knew you couldn't avoid rescuing Sheridan Crane. I mean, I know you had to bring her in. I've got nothing against her personally in particular. but she's Julian Crane's sister, Alistair Crane's daughter. The sooner she's out of our release, the better I'll feel.
Hey, that makes both of us.
You know, the Cranes remind me of one of those nor'easters we get come fall. You know how they start. Deceptively calm at first, then they get up a good blow, do their thing and head out to sea, leaving total devastation in their wake.
I tell you, it's nice to know I'm not the only one around here who's got a problem with the Cranes.
I gotta get some coffee.
Your son looks busy. I don't want to disturb him.
Well, I know Ethan really wants to meet you, but perhaps you're right, Teresa. Maybe later is better. The work he's doing with this private investigator is so important if we're ever going to catch this disturbed young woman.
Well, maybe she won't bother him anymore.
Oh, well, I hardly think so. Last night she actually made it onto the grounds.
Really?
You know, it is absolutely terrifying how close a crazy person can get to you if they put their mind to it. Well, we've increased security, so it shouldn't happen again. Still, you must keep your eyes wide open, Teresa, for your own sake.
I will, Mrs. Crane.
And if you see this girl, you must notify me or Ethan immediately. She is dangerous, but obviously the object of her disturbed mind is my son. Still, you must be vigilant.
I'll be right there. My mother's secretary must have arrived.
You want to go meet her?
I should. But finding this girl who's been stalking me is more important right now. And I have to go by the police station and pick up my aunt. She's being released.
I'll go with you. I need to take the sketch, show it around, make sure the cops are aware what the stalker looks like.
Good idea. I'll meet Teresa later when I come back.
There's some correspondence on my writing table I'd like you to reply to, and I'll come back later and check and see how you're doing.
Okay. Mrs. Crane? Good.